Okay, so today we are diving into Instagram for business. We're not talking about like the pretty filters or anything like that.
Right.
We are going deep on market positioning.
Okay.
And you gave us like articles, guides, even some podcasting insights.
You're serious about standing out.
Yeah.
Which is really smart.
What I find really fascinating is that you're already thinking strategically about it.
A lot of people, they kind of get lost in just like the sea of hashtags and trends. You're thinking about the why.
Like, why should someone follow you? What's going to keep them engaged?
It's a crowded space.
You know what I mean?
It is.
And the size of Instagram is huge.
Over 1 billion users.
Yeah.
So like, before we even talk about stories or reels.
Where do we even begin?
Well, actually, your source, creating a podcast on market positioning with a focus on Instagram branding.
They give a great definition.
Okay.
They say that market positioning is the process of establishing the image or identity of a brand or product so that consumers perceive it in a certain way.
And they say it's about, creating a distinct and valuable position in the minds of your target audience.
So less about fitting in, more about standing out,
Yes.
but doing it strategically.
Exactly.
One of the articles mentioned a USP.
Unique selling proposition.
Right.
How does that fit into all of this?
So think about it this way.
You have 2 fitness studios
Okay.
that want to attract customers on Instagram.
One focuses on high-intensity workouts. Maybe they're showing testimonials from marathon runners, that kind of thing.
The other one emphasizes a welcoming atmosphere.
Yeah.
Maybe they're posting images of diverse groups of people laughing in a yoga class.
Same industry.
Totally different vibes.
Okay.
So it's not about being the best. It's about being the best for like a specific person.
Exactly.
Which means you really have to know who that person is.
Precisely.
And on Instagram, that translates to everything that you do.
Okay.
Your visuals, are you going for bright and bold or minimalist and chic?
Your voice, are you playful or inspirational?
Even down to the types of stories that you tell.
So it's almost like giving your brand a personality, like an
Yes.
Instagram style, but it's more than just a one-time makeover, right?
Yes.
It has to be consistent.
Absolutely.
Imagine if you land on a brand's page and it's just like this random mix of photos and like quotes and product shots.
Yeah. It's confusing, right?
Yeah.
This guide actually found that brands with the consistent visual identity.
On Instagram, achieve an average of, let's just say, X% higher engagement.
Wow.
Okay, so we need a strategy.
We need to know our audience.
Yes.
But Instagram's changing all the time.
Right,
They're
yes.
coming out with stories and reels and you can go live.
How do we keep up with all that and stay strategic at the same time?
That's where things get really interesting.
Because Instagram isn't just about static images anymore. It
It's this multifaceted platform that, when it's used strategically.
can really help you achieve very specific business goals.
And I saw that you highlighted something about shoppable posts,
Yeah.
which kind of sounds like a game changer to me.
It is a game changer.
Because you can actually sell directly through the post. But it's only effective if you've laid that groundwork.
You have to define your brand
Target the right audience.
and create content that they're going to resonate with. Okay.
It's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Or, in this case, buy your product,
Right.
but you can make the water look really appealing.
Exactly.
So let's say we've got this like killer strategy
Our brand identity is crystal clear.
and we're using all the cool tools Instagram has.
Okay. Now what?
Now it's time to craft scroll-stopping content.
Okay.
Think like eye-catching visuals, engaging videos.
But also captions that tell a story, and then hashtags that are really going to get you noticed.
Speaking of captions.
I feel like that's where I struggle the most.
Okay.
Do the guides have any tips about writing captions that actually like help you make sales?
Yeah, so one of your sources, the Instagram formula.
They actually suggest this really simple framework.
Yeah.
Hook story call to action.
So you start with something really attention-grabbing,
Uh-huh.
and then you connect it back to your brand or product.
And then you tell people what you want them to do.
Okay.
Like go to your website, leave a comment, share it with a friend.
Simple but effective.
Exactly.
I've also heard a lot about user-generated content.
Which is kind of like social proof,
Yes?
but like on steroids or something.
Absolutely.
Think about it. Would you rather see like a really polished ad?
Or a genuine photo of somebody who's like raving about a product that they love.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Influencer marketing decoded?
Actually found that user-generated content is perceived as like, I think is X% more authentic and trustworthy by consumers compared to something that's brand created.
Interesting.
Yeah, so encourage your followers to share their experiences.
And just kind of watch the magic happen.
Okay, that makes sense.
Speaking of influencers,
One of the podcasts you sent over talked about finding the right influencers for your niche.
Yes.
Like, how do you even navigate that whole
Yeah,
process?
it's not about chasing the big numbers, you know?
Those huge follower counts,
Okay.
micro-influencers, those with smaller but really highly engaged audiences,
Can be so valuable.
especially if they really align with your target customer.
You know, I think one of your articles actually pointed to a case study.
Where a small skincare brand saw like a 10x return on investment by
Wow.
partnering with micro-influencers who are really, really passionate about sustainable living.
So it's like quality over quantity. Yes.
Authenticity over follower count,
Exactly.
almost like you're building this network of brand ambassadors.
Yeah, exactly. Look for those people who genuinely love your product.
Okay.
They understand your values,
They have an audience that you know aligns with yours.
and then build a real relationship with them.
Okay,
Engage with their content, collaborate on creative campaigns, you know,
got it.
that kind of thing.
All right, you've convinced me. Micro-influencers it is.
Uh,
Let's kind of switch gears a little bit
okay.
and talk about data.
Okay.
Because on Instagram,
Feels like we're bombarded with metrics.
likes, comments,
Right.
shares,
Yes.
reach impressions, all that stuff.
It can feel overwhelming.
It really can.
Data-driven Instagram.
Suggests focusing on 3 key things.
Okay.
Engagement rate,
Okay.
and then website clicks.
Okay.
So your engagement rate.
That tells you how actively people are interacting with your content.
Okay.
Reach shows you how many unique users are seeing your posts.
And then website clicks.
Indicates how effective you are at driving traffic back to your site.
Right, because that's like a crucial step.
Exactly.
Yeah, in that customer journey.
So it's not just about the vanity metrics,
No.
like the likes and the followers.
It's about understanding.
Like, what are people doing?
Yes. Are
Yeah.
those engagements
Yeah.
leading to meaningful action?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned adjusting your strategy.
Yes.
One of the articles talked about A/B testing.
Can you kind of elaborate on what that is and how it works on Instagram?
Yeah, absolutely. So A/B testing is a really powerful way to compare different elements of your content to see what's going to resonate with your audience.
So like what would be an example?
So for example, you could create 2 different versions of a post
With different headlines or call to actions,
and then track which one performs better in terms of like clicks.
engagement conversions, that kind of thing.
And I can track this through Instagram.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
The analytics dashboard actually allows you to track those metrics.
So you can make those really data-driven decisions.
So it's almost like having this built-in marketing team.
Yes.
But instead of being fueled by coffee and brainstorming sessions.
It's algorithms and data points.
Exactly. And the beauty of it is
You can constantly experiment, you can refine, you can optimize your strategy.
based on that real-time feedback.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like we're back in science class.
But instead of beakers and Bunsen burners.
We've got like Instagram insights and A/B testing.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And speaking of science.
One of your articles actually highlighted this really fascinating study from Harvard Business Review.
About the psychology of like social media marketing.
And they found that consumers are way more likely to engage with content.
That like evokes an emotional response. Whether it's joy or surprise or even like a little bit of nostalgia.
That makes sense.
Because we connect with like stories, not just products.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about some of the brands that I follow.
They're not just trying to sell me something.
They're sharing their values, their journey.
Right.
Like even their sense of humor.
Yeah.
And it just makes them feel more relatable.
It does.
No, that human.
At that human connection.
That's so valuable.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Yeah. Because we're just constantly bombarded with all these marketing messages from every direction.
Yeah.
And the brands that are really standing out are the ones that are prioritizing that authenticity.
They're building those relationships.
And they're creating content that resonates on a much deeper level.
So it's not just about having this like killer Instagram strategy.
Whoa.
It's also about like having a heart.
It is.
Absolutely. And that actually brings us to a really crucial point.
That's woven throughout all of your research.
Okay.
The importance of providing value.
Okay.
It's really easy to get caught up in like the numbers game, you know?
Followers, likes, comments.
Right.
But what really matters at the end of the day is the value that you're delivering.
So let's unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
What does it actually mean to like provide value on Instagram?
And how do you actually do that in a way that feels authentic and engaging?
So think about it this way.
Why should someone follow you?
On Instagram,
Okay.
what are you offering that's unique or informative or entertaining or inspiring?
Are you sharing behind-the-scenes glimpses into, like, your creative process?
Are you giving expert advice on something that you're super passionate about?
Are you curating beautiful imagery that sparks joy?
Or maybe it's just as simple as like,
Making people laugh with a meme?
yeah,
Or brightening their day with an awesome photo?
exactly. It's about figuring out what makes you special.
And then finding those creative ways to share that with people
Okay,
through compelling content.
got it.
The Instagram formula.
It actually has a whole chapter on this.
Of
They
course.
call it your content pillars.
Content pillars?
Yeah. And these are like the core themes or topics,
That you're going to create content around.
consistently.
So you're giving your audience this consistent
Yes.
and valuable experience.
Which is going to lead to more engagement.
More loyalty.
And then hopefully more business growth.
Okay, so you're building a brand universe on Instagram
Yes.
with each post adding like a new layer of depth.
I like that.
Okay, so before we wrap things up.
I have to ask about the future of Instagram
Okay.
because it seems like things are constantly changing
Yeah,
in the world of social media.
they are.
What trends should we be keeping an eye on?
So your research actually highlighted a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
The rise of augmented reality,
Uh
like those AR experiences,
huh.
artificial intelligence.
AI is becoming really big in terms of content creation and targeting. And then short-form video content is still king.
So reels aren't going away anytime soon.
Reels are here to stay
Yeah.
because that short-form video.
It's just so engaging, it's so shareable.
And with these AI-powered tools that are coming out.
It's getting easier and easier to create high-quality video.
That's true.
Even if you don't have like a professional studio just sitting in your back pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's exciting and a little bit daunting at the same time.
It is, it is.
So as we try to navigate this ever-changing landscape of Instagram marketing,
What's like the one key takeaway?
for our listeners,
You know the guide, Conquering Instagram? I think they sum it up perfectly.
they say prioritize building a community
Okay.
because it's so easy to get caught up in those vanity metrics that we talked about
But at the end of the day, success on Instagram is about fostering a genuine connection.
with your audience.
So it's not just about having followers.
No.
It's about building a tribe of fans
Yes.
who believe in what you're doing.
And are excited to be a part of your journey.
Exactly. And that is the secret to conquering Instagram.
Love it.
And on that note,
We will leave you with this.
what one small step can you take today?
To nurture your Instagram community.
Is it a thoughtful comment? A behind-the-scenes story?
Yeah, thank you, whatever it is.
Those little things.
Every interaction can make a difference.
They really can.
Until next time.
Happy Instagramming it.